Hey guys, so this is my very first video in my Back to Basics, everything you need to know about natural hair series, and today we're going to be talking all about transitioning. Now if you're not really sure what that means, transitioning is when you allow your new natural hair to grow out to a certain state before you decide to cut off your old perm ends or big chop. And a lot of us do decide to transition when we first make that decision that we want to go natural. And it's not a certain time that you have to transition. It's all up to you. So it can be from 1 month up to 1 year. But what I can say about the transitioning phase is that it does have its pros and cons. It's really a learning experience. You get to learn about your hair. You get to learn about styles. And you also get to explore new products. So I decided to come up with my top tips that I thought would be great for you. My first tip is to be patient. Patience is key while you're transitioning, as well as throughout your entire natural hair journey. When we decide we want to go natural, we become so eager, and a lot of times we like to get caught up, number one, with our texture of our hair. Do not concern yourself too much with the texture of your hair while you're transitioning, especially during the first few months of transitioning. You will not be able to tell your texture anyway. Your old hair is weighing down the new natural hair, and to me, you won't fully be able to determine your texture until you big chop, unless you're doing a very long-term transition. Another way you need to remain patient is with styling. The styles are going to be something that you may be familiar with, but because your hair is different and changing in ways, it may be difficult to execute. So you have to be patient with doing different styles. And when you first start transitioning, styles may be really pretty, but as your new hair grows out, it may be really difficult for you to achieve those same styles. Another thing that you need to remain patient with is your length. Do not get too caught up with comparing your length to the next girl's hair. Everyone's hair grows at a different rate, especially if they've already big chop. You may be 3 months transitioning, they may be 3 months post big chop, and you know the hair rates may be different, but when you big chop, your hair does grow a lot faster. So do not get too caught up with the length. It will discourage you, and you do not want that. The tip is to moisturize your hair. Moisture is key throughout your transitioning phase. Without moisture, your hair becomes dry, it becomes brittle, it will break off, and the whole purpose of us transitioning is to maintain some sort of length. So you do not want your hair to break off at all. Now you may experience some breakage just because your hair is going through changes, and usually your old hair may break off a little bit at the ends. But some ways that you can maintain moisture in your hair is by deep conditioning on a regular basis. Deep conditions are really great. I would suggest once a week. I also would suggest hot oil treatments. Now, the amount of times you do the hot oil treatments depends on your hair. I know for me, I have drier hair, so I may want to, do hot oil treatments on a regular basis, but someone who has oily hair may not need them as often. Another way to maintain moisture in your hair is by co-washing, and that just means to wash solely with conditioner, no shampoo at all. And when people first hear co-washing and washing your hair with conditioner, they think that your hair won't get clean. Conditioner can cleanse your hair. Now, we do use shampoo to thoroughly cleanse our hair, but with shampoos, they are harsh. They actually strip your natural oils from your hair, and that's one thing that you do need in order to maintain moisture. So I'm not saying not to shampoo at all, but I would only shampoo when I've been using a lot of products, and if I decide to shampoo, I will go and find a shampoo that is either sulfate-free, silicone-free, or as natural as possible, so that it won't be as harsh on your hair as those shampoos that you were using back when your hair was curly. My third tip is to be kind to your hair. It's really important to start to treat your hair as if it's already natural. I think that's a great way to get a healthy hair care regimen started. So one thing I want you to remember is the new hair is going to be really fragile. The point where your new hair and your old hair meets is the line of demarcation, and that's the most fragile area of your hair. So you have to be really careful with handling your hair and also detangling your hair. You want to remember to detangle your hair while it is wet, either while it's running underwater or saturated with some type of conditioner. And as your transitioning phase goes along, you may need to even add a detangler. And when you're detangling your hair, you want to start at the bottom. So you want to grab your hair, start at the bottom, detangle, and work your way up. That's really important to make sure you are not yanking out of your hair. You do not want to start at the root and drag the comb to the tip, and you definitely want to use a wide tooth comb. You do not want to use a rat tail comb or anything like that. It's just going to pull your hair out. You also want to be mindful of your edges. Your edges are also really weak, and that's something that you should pay attention to regardless if your hair is natural or not. But you need to pay attention to your edges. Do not pull your hair back too hard. Do not clip things too close to your edges. It can result in breakage around your edges, and you do not want that. Also, eliminating heat. And I know when we're permed, we love to put heat in our hair. I was addicted to my flat iron. I was addicted to my curling iron. I was addicted to perms in general, every 4 weeks on a dot. But you have to remember to eliminate as much heat as possible. You do not want to flat iron your hair. Flat iron your hair and add a lot of heat can result into dry hair. It can also result into breaking off your hair. And also applying too much heat to your hair can disturb your curl pattern. You know, we love to see our curls. Once we go natural, we're like, oh, my curls, are they popping today? And you don't want to disturb your curl pattern too much. The back of your hair will look beautiful, but if you continue to flat iron those edges, you will have droopy curls in the front, which is heat damage basically. And you may have to even start over with cutting your hair off in the front and growing it back out, which is really discouraging. I know it would be for me. So you don't want to apply so much heat to your hair, but if you feel the need that you need to have heat in your hair, please use a heat protectant. It will make a world of difference. Is to find that perfect transition style. You want to find styles that's going to blend your old texture and your new texture together. You also want to find styles that will have low manipulation and use the least amount of heat as possible. So some really great styles will be Bantu knot outs, braid outs, flat twist outs, and buns are also really great because you can slick all of your hair back and also protect your old ends. Some other good styles will be braids, sew-ins, and wigs. Now you have to be careful with braids and sew-ins because braiding your hair around the edges, make sure it's not too tight in order to still have edges left. You do not want to yank out your edges. As well as with weaves and wigs, you do not want to just neglect your hair underneath. You want to make sure you're still deep conditioning, you're washing your hair, you're moisturizing your hair as well. And with half wigs, you want to make sure you're not wearing them too often because those combs in the back will also break off the nape of your hair. Not to become a product junkie. Oh my goodness, it is so easy to become a product junkie once you decide you want to first start going natural. And even throughout your journey, you're like, oh, I need to get this, I need to get that. But you need to remember, patience is key. Do not buy all of these products that are out there. When I decided to go natural, they did not have as near as many products as what they have now. So I could just imagine if I was natural now, how many products I would be buying. Like I bought so many products when I first started transitioning, and I still have some of those products to this day. So you don't want to go out and purchase everything that you see somebody is using. You don't want to pick it up. I'm going to do a video at the end of the series discussing some really great products to start off with throughout your journey. But during your transition phase, you do not want to pick up any curl defining products. You can't define your curls if you have no curls to define. So you don't want to go out and pick something like that up. Stick to buying, you know, like a better shampoo, a moisturizing conditioner, a great leave-in, and you may want to pick up an oil, olive oil, or even coconut oil. You do not want to go out and buy tons of conditioners, tons of shampoos. The one thing about your transitioning phase that you want to remember is that it's a learning phase. You want to learn how to start a regimen. You want to learn how to work with your hair. You don't want to give your hair different products every day that they can't get used to. Now, once you see that a product is not working out for you, then it is fine to go out and purchase something else. But don't start off before you have even decided that you really want to go natural and you see all these different products and you're picking up all these different things. It's really going to be a waste of money. You do not need to invest in them right now. You have plenty of time to try out the products that are on the market. I hope these tips really help you guys out there who are transitioning. I may have left some things out, but always remember that patience is the top thing. You have to remember to be patient when it comes to your hair because transitioning can be trying at times. Now, any of you out there, if you know some really great tips, leave them in the comments below because they may have some girls that are transitioning watching this in the future. Don't forget to check me out on Instagram for my healthy hair tips throughout this series. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And until my next video, bye guys.